Imagine winning the biggest trophy in football 3 times in a row, only for your bosses to treat you like a complete stranger. These men served as human shield for Real Madrid during the most legendary era in the modern game. He possessed cat-like speed, pulled off impossible saves, and lived a life story that feels like a movie. Keylor Navas grew up far from the luxury of European scouts. He started in the small towns of Costa Rica, playing in fields where even owning property proved difficult. Yet, through sheer grit and spiritual focus, he climbed to the top to guard the net of the world's most famous club. However, behind those golden medals hide a dark tale of corporate disrespect. Even after winning every major title and proving his worth against every elite striker, the club forced Navas out. His exit happened not because his skills faded, but because he lacked the superstar image the board craved. The story of Navas shows that sometimes being the best at your job remains secondary to being a good brain. Let us look back at 2014 when a quiet keeper from a small team joined Real Madrid and knew that the same club he saved would eventually stab him in the back.
Blasted from distance into the corner, slapped by Navas. What a save!
In 2014, Madrid celebrated the 10th European title, and the roster featured icons like Cristiano Ronaldo and Sergio Ramos, who dominated the headlines. Yet, the team made one summer signing that many experts laughed off as a marketing stunt. The club spent 10 million euros on a 27-year-old from Central America named Keylor Navas. He arrived as a nobody. He lacked the fame of a European star, and he failed to fit the pretty boy image the president loved to market. But very few realized that this humble athlete would soon become the solid foundation of a historical football dynasty. Strangely, he also became the most betrayed hero in the history of the Bernabeu. Everything changed in June 2014 during the Brazil World Cup. Navas' journey to the top began with a performance that defied logic. Representing a tiny nation, he shocked the planet by stopping giants like Italy and England, helping his country top a group that everyone expected them to lose. He stood like a brick wall against every team, and he kept a clean sheet against a powerful Netherlands team, only losing when the game went to a final tiebreaker. Despite that loss, Navas took a massive underdog to the best finish ever. He earned praise as the tournament's top keeper, making saves that looked like magic. Nobody expected a player from such a small nation to outperform the world's most expensive stars. Overnight, he became a symbol of hope, which forced Madrid to sign him. At first, he sat on the bench as a backup, waiting for a tiny crack in the door. Destiny, however, moved faster than expected. The era of Casillas reached its end, and in 2015, the legend moved to Portugal, leaving a massive hole in the Madrid goal. Suddenly, Keylor Navas walked into the most stressful job in sport. Yet, the Costa Rican handled the heat with class. In his first year as the starter, he changed the game, becoming the first player from his region to win the Champions League. The most shocking part? During that 2016 European rule, he refused to let in a single goal for 8 straight matches. By the end of the year, he had 9 shootouts and lifted the trophy, earning the love of the fans and the fear of every striker in the world. But behind the curtain, Real Madrid already planned to replace him before his first season even finished. In August 2015, just 1 year after his arrival, the club tried to trade Navas to Manchester United for David De Gea. The contract sat on the desk and the players agreed to the move. Then, fewer chaos broke out. The trade failed at the very last second because of a technical error, a broken fax machine. The document reached the office after the midnight deadline. Just like that, the deal died. Navas stayed in Madrid. It remains one of the weirdest stories in football history. For Navas, the news felt like a punch to the gut. He later confessed that he cried that night because he felt his own club tried to throw him away. Little did the bosses know that broken fax machine would lead to 3 years of history. After that messy summer, the club hired Zinedine Zidane, Unlike the board, Zidane trusted Navas completely. Under his lead, Navas became a legend. He served as the secret weapon for every big final. In the 2018 semi-final, he blocked 8 certain goals against Bayern Munich. Even the opposing coach called him the only reason Madrid reached the final. By late 2018, Navas had 3 straight Champions League rings and 12 total trophies. He won everything possible except for one local cup, which the team always seemed to lose. But the harsh reality remained. No matter how many trophies he won, the bosses never liked him. To understand this, you must look at the toxic culture of the club. The president loved model players, men who looked like celebrities and sold millions of shirts. Keylor Navas lacked that look. He was shorter than other keepers. He came from a small country and he had zero interest in being a celebrity. Still, Zidane stood by him. The coach even blocked the club from signing new keeper in 2018, stating,
Keylor es portero número 1 de Real Madrid. No hay duda en eso.
That loyalty was rare, and Navas paid it back with greatness. However, Zidane's exit in 2018 allowed the final betrayal to happen. Once the coach and Cristiano Ronaldo left, the club felt the need for a fresh face. That summer, they signed Thibaut Courtois from Chelsea. Courtois was tall, Belgian, and looked like a superstar. Navas knew his time was up. He told the press, I have as much desire to live as I do to die. He wanted to fight, but the decision came from the top. The new coaches benched the 3-time champion for the new model keeper. He went from being a king to sitting in the shadows without any explanation. The most painful part was the lack of respect. In 2019, the manager treated Navas like he was invisible. He tried hard but received 0 chances. The breaking point happened during a game against Moscow. The team had already qualified for the next round, so the coach played every sub except for Navas. After the game, Navas called the move ugly. Almost every teammate got to play, but I remain on the bench, he said. He realized that no amount of talent could save him from a board that already decided to sell him. But suddenly, a small spark of hope appeared when Zidane returned as the manager in March 2019. In his first game back, Zidane put Navas back in the starting lineup. The keeper felt very emotional that day, saying it felt great to be seen again. The coach told the media that Navas was vital. For a moment, things looked bright, but the peace failed to last. The final betrayal ended his time in Spain. Privately, the board told Zidane that Courtois must play. Even the men who protected Navas for years had his head tied by the bosses. The board cared more about marketing than the chemistry of the team. In the summer of 2019, the club told Navas he had no future there. On September 2nd, he moved to Paris Saint-Germain for a small fee. The exit was cold and businesslike. Madrid offered no tribute, no video, and no thank you for a man who won 12 trophies. That silence felt like a slap in the face. Months later, Navas finally told his side. He thanked the fans but admitted that going from 3 big trophies to the bench broke his heart. Still, he never attacked the club. After the cold exit from Spain, Navas landed in Paris.
Keylor Navas has gone to PSG from Real Madrid. Sick of being backup?
Many expected him to fade away, but he did the opposite. He carried PSG to the first ever Champions League final in 2020, even though they lost 1-0 to Bayern Munich. Navas remained the hero, making world-class saves that kept the dream alive until the final whistle. But the ghost of his past returned. Just like in Madrid, the PSG board chose style over substance.
Keylor Navas is the most disrespected player of our generation. It's not even.
Let's not exaggerate.
It's not exaggeration.
Let's tone it down a little bit.
Because let me just start up from PSG, if you will.
They signed Gianluigi Donnarumma in 2021, even though Navas performed perfectly. The club forced a toxic rotation system that ruined the team's focus. Navas found himself benched again, not because he played poorly, but because the club wanted a younger, poster boy. He refused to let his career die in the shadow of Paris. In 2023, he made a shock move to Nottingham Forest in England.
Keylor Navas, welcome to the City Ground. How does it feel to be here at Nottingham Forest?
Me siento muy feliz, muy contento por esta oportunidad. La verdad que venir a Nottingham es una gran oportunidad y vamos a disfrutar mucho.
He swapped a palace for a battle, fighting to keep a small team in the Premier League. His cat-like reflexes saved them from relegation, proving his talent worked in any league under any pressure. The most recent chapter of his life took him back to the Americas. In early 2025, he joined Newell's Old Boys in Argentina before moving to his current home, Pumas, in Mexico. At 29 years old, he remains a king in the net. He brings a level of leadership that the Mexican League rarely witnesses. Perhaps the biggest controversy involves his national team. Navas announced his retirement from Costa Rica in 2024, leaving fans in tears. However, with the 2026 World Cup on the horizon, he made a dramatic return to the squad. He recently played vital matches against Haiti and Honduras, proving he still serves as the human shield for his people. Keylor Navas proves that a bread can be bought, but respect must be earned. He survived the politics of Madrid, the ego of Paris, and the physical grind of England. Today, he stands as a legend who never needed a fancy image to be the best in the world. If you enjoyed stories about football's most ignored legends, hit the subscribe button right now. Join our community to catch every new video about the secrets of the game. Thanks for watching.